Hello once again, YouTube. Today I'm coming back with an interesting topic from a question. Excuse me. Lord mercy. From a question that I have that I'm going to answer from a subscriber. And, I feel that it was very important to talk about because maybe this is not always discussed in the books, in the research, when you go to therapy appointments. Maybe there's not a lot of topics out there. Maybe it's, and the topic is, Bambie, what are the major differences between the earlier parts of puberty and the later parts of puberty when you are in transition? Excellent question. The earlier parts of puberty, I'm trying to remember. I've been in transition for a long time, as you all know. The early parts of transition is like really exciting, and you are now officially starting to take estrogen or testosterone, whatever hormone of your choice. It's like really exciting. It's really invigorating. It's energizing. It's, you are finally feeling that you are taking the right steps to freedom. Like you finally know that you are taking the right steps to freedom, and you don't know quite where it's going to end up, and you don't know where this journey may, lead you, but you know that it's one step closer to feeling free. In the beginning, from what I remember, you change a lot mentally and emotionally first. The physical results, like what I have achieved, don't come until the latter part of puberty, honestly. And I've, been very blessed, and I've taken my time, and it's that whole saying, good things come to those who wait, but damn, I waited a long time to get to where I'm at. Long story short, your body changes a little bit in the beginning of your transition. From just my experience, I can't tell you what you'll go through in your experience, but from my experience, my body changed very little in the very beginning. For like, if you want me to be completely honest, for the first almost decade. Like, my boobs grew a little bit, my hips filled out a little bit, my butt grew a little bit, but it was more that my brain was rewiring itself, because I felt like in the first beginning years, my body was fighting that estrogen, honestly. And then maybe 5 to 7 years in, it finally started to accept the fact that, you know what, this is like the normal for me. Because it's a kind of a slow, gradual process. But if you remember, baby girls, in my situation, going from a male to a female, baby girls are born with enough estrogen in their lifetime at birth. And it still takes them 10 to 21 years or so to go through puberty. So you have to take that into consideration when you're in transition. If you're going to transition the way that I've transitioned, which is naturally the puberty way, taking it, hormones. I don't judge anybody. A lot of times with the girls that are in a big rush to get, breasts and hips and ass, my advice, if you're in a huge rush for it, go ahead and get implants, because it takes a while to fill your body out. And that's just from personal experience. I did not get my curves and my bust and my hips and my rear. I did not get my hourglass figure in my first few years. You're talking 15 years down the road is when mama's starting to go, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Okay? But this was a long time in the making. This was one step at a time. This was basically building a mansion out of pebbles. That's what transition, to me, personally, if you're taking hormones, can feel like. It's like you feel like you're building a mansion out of pebbles. But one day, you'll get to where you want to be. And I'm not trying to say this to discourage people, but definitely in the beginning parts of transition in the puberty, from what I remember, I was changing mentally and emotionally first. Towards the middle part, I want to say, 5 to maybe 7 to 8 years in, then I was starting to see some of the physical results. Maybe I filled out an A cup. Maybe I filled out an A and a half. Maybe I barely filled out a B. My hips were starting to some of the physical results were starting to come in. I remember that my hips popped one time. It hurt really bad. I remember my boobs growing and itching and hurting all the time and having those knots. I remember my body filling out. My legs would hurt all the time. I remember that it was very, very physically painful. Now in my later part of puberty, the irony with the later part of puberty, what I'm in now, the maturing part, I feel like every time that like I eat a 2-piece chicken from KFC, I'm going to see it somewhere on my body. But I'm okay with that. I feel like now that I've hit the later part of puberty, I'm growing faster physically than I can mentally keep up with. So yeah, there's a lot of ironies in transition. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning into this topic here on the Bambie Nicole of what puberty was like for me in the beginning versus the later part of puberty. I appreciate you so much. I can't wait to have a conversation here with you again. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe, and show all your friends. Love y'all.